Maddie Lee here, coming to you from FedEx Forum, where the Thunder has just lost to the Grizzlies 115-103. It was a really ugly game. Thunder got down early. The Grizzlies started out the game on a 9-0 run. Not a great way for the Thunder to start. And then they were just fighting from behind from the rest of the game. You know, would briefly tie it up or take a little bit of a lead, but really for most of the game they were behind about 10 points. Memphis's lead got up to as much as 18. So not the way that the Thunder wanted to come out of a great game in Toronto as they're trying to build towards the end of the season here. Really brutal loss to anyone, but the Grizzlies aren't playing for anything right now. They have a bunch of injuries, and so really all the chips and the momentum and everything were stacked towards the Thunder for this game. Dennis Schroeder actually had another good night, which was a small positive for the Thunder, but yeah, Paul George not shooting very efficiently. He scores 30 points on 29 shots. Russell Westbrook not putting up very big offensive numbers, but defensively they weren't getting stops against a team that, yes, is faster than the traditional grit and grind Memphis teams that we've come to know, but when they have as many players injured and are sitting as many guys as they are, and you know, they've come out and surprised some guys, some teams, but that's really, really not an excuse for a team that's fighting to be in the playoffs here. Fighting for a playoff spot, they dropped down back to 8th because, of course, in as tight of a playoff race as it is right now, one loss is the difference between 5th and 8th. So Thunder put themselves in not a great position with a game that they really should have won. Billy Donovan said something interesting post-game because, you know, I asked him about it not letting it snowball. And he was like, I'm not worried about that, which is, he made a good point that the Thunder actually, when they have bad games like this, they tend to do a really good job bouncing back. Coming back the next game, putting on a really solid performance. But what they haven't done well is string good performances together. And so this letdown after such a hard-fought game in Toronto 3 days ago on Friday was almost predictable, despite how much things were logically stacked in the Thunder's favor. The Thunder has had a tendency of either playing down to their competition or having a bad game after a really good game. Tonight they did some of both. Memphis played pretty well, and the Thunder just wasn't doing things that they usually do well. They missed fast break layups, you know, like little things like that they have to be doing, and, you know, really don't have any answer for why it wasn't working tonight. So Thunder head back home now for a long home stand where they'll try to pick up some speed as we have now just 8 more games until the end of the regular season. So here's some post-game video of Dennis Schroeder, Paul George, Russell Westbrook, and Billy Donovan.